In this video you'll see alternative instructions of how you can complete your assignment in Module 7 dealing with SAP. This alternative option allows you to access SAP environment using user interface that just requires web connection and not the installation of the actual GUI on your local machine. So the way you would do that is your instructor should provide you a link where you can go on Blackboard or via email, and if you click on that link you'll have an option to log in into SAP environment, and together with this log on screen you should be provided with a way to log in for the first time, meaning user ID and password. Some instructors might list it on your Blackboard site as well, so if that is the case you would simply go to that place where you do have the list of users and your ID. So I will do the same, and for example I was provided here with the user ID GBI-516 and my initial password is S Indiana, with S and I being capital letters, and the client is 110. So in order to access it for the first time I will go back to my web connection to log in, and remember the client was given to me 110. This might vary depending on your environment and the section you're in. Then your user ID that was provided to you, in my case that was let me see, I'll make sure I get this right, it's 516. So, and initial password is S capital I capital Deanna small, and you click log on and it tells you that your initial password needs to be changed. So you will repeat your initial password and type in a password that is easy to remember for you for this exercise, and then click on change. Password was changed, click on continue. You have a welcome message and then click on continue. It did give me a message here, but when you click on OK it seems to be working. So here we are, you're now in the environment that's very similar to user interface that you would actually download on your computer. So this is a web connection, slightly different. So let me just guide you through it for this assignment. Before you go any further, we will go back to our place where you have the actual assignment, which is SAP exercise. Again, your instructor might download it somewhere or email it to you, but I am doing it via Blackboard. I will not cover everything here in this assignment just because this is I will only highlight the things that you need to know relative to that user interface. So you will type in your name, your date for your Module 7 assignment. You see what you need to do: login, change password, modify display. We did the login and change password. We will then do modify display. You will create purchase requisition and convert that requisition to purchase order. Do get familiar with this setup in terms of the background and what we are trying to do with this assignment. Once you do that, we already did the login with the client and the user ID. Obviously this looks slightly different when you have that GUI loaded on your computer. So we did that, and we have access to our easy access SAP. Obviously ours looks slightly different. You see it here, but everything, all the options are still there, but layout is different. Okay. Then we need to make a change so that we can see a transaction codes next to transaction names. So this is slightly different. I want to show you, instead of going here to extras on top and then settings, in this you actually go here through a menu option right here and not on top. Click and then you go extras and then you go to settings and then you click on display technical names and then you say continue or enter, and here it is. So now if you kind of go through folders, the change that we did allowed us to actually see this transaction code ME22N and not just the name change. So that's one of the reasons why we will do that. Okay, so that's one thing that's different. Next, you will need to create a purchase requisition. So just follow these instructions here, and it is very similar. Since this is a purchase requisition, we will go through logistics, material management, purchasing, and then purchase requisition, and we will look for this ME51N. So if you go back here, you go through logistics, material management, purchasing, not through purchase order but purchase requisition, and this MI51N. If you double click on that, we are able to now actually input our purchase requisition detail. Again, you notice that it looks slightly different than the instruction document. For the regular GUI, you would just expand items under items overview, and now you have the ability to start typing in your purchase requisition details. The first one is the material. This is very similar to the instructions here. So you would enter shirt 1000, SHRT 1000, or you can search for it. Same way. Oops. So SHRT 1000 is one way of doing that. Then we want 500 of shirts, and let's say for this case we want delivery date to be June 9th, and we want this in a certain plant. It's Miami, so you can go into instructions and see where Miami is, MI00. You can type it in, or you can search for it like so, and double click on MI00 and it appears there. Okay, so we have all the details that we need to create purchase requisition. We now need to check that everything is okay. This is slightly different than how the instructions are in the document. It will be enter to confirm entry. That enter doesn't exist in the same spot, but it is right here called check. So you click on that, check. And see what happened here. A few details were created, shirt text, units, and so forth. Everything looks good. Now you click save. Save is here in this environment. And this is very important. At bottom, you actually have your purchase requisition number. This is the number you need to copy and paste. Oops. And then move it right here. That's your purchase requisition. And then instead of hitting this SAP Easy Menu icon, which we don't have, all you have to do is, or exit actually, have it, exit, that's it. Next, you will create a purchase requisition purchase order from a requisition. Instructions are very similar. You will be looking for this transaction code MI20YN, vendor supplying part known. You will go through the same path. Instead of going through purchase requisition though, you will go through purchase order and create. So logistics, material management, purchasing, purchase order this time, create, and this is the one, ME21N, vendor supplying parts known. Double click on that, it opens up. Click on document overview on. Okay, and now what we need to do is make sure we pull up the old requisition. So you would go to the select variant right here and say my purchase requisitions, and here it is, the one that you just created. Okay, you click on that, not double click, just click once so you selected it, and then you click adopt. So you adopt that requisition. We did it very easily, very similar to the one that's in the document. And now you look for your vendor the same way you would in the document, and you click on that option to search. We know that our vendor is in Atlanta, so let's type that in, and then we search. There's a bunch of them. Let's just select the first one, 101000. Double click on that, and here it is. We need to select purchasing org. This is US, the organization that's going to do the purchasing. And let's see if we need anything else. I think that's it. Let's click check. Perfect, no messages issued during check, everything seems to be okay. And then we just click save. And the same way, at the bottom you have your purchase order number 295 at the end. This is the one that we want. And then we go back to our document right here. Obviously your number will be different, but you will type it in right here, the purchase order that you just received. And that's it. You save this document and then you submit it with a certain format under Blackboard assignment link, and you're good to go. And let's just make sure we close out of this. Just click exit and we are done. So these were just quick abbreviated modified instructions of how to complete your module 7 assignment using SAP, but this time using the alternative way of accessing the SAP data and the environment, which is using the web connection directly versus a GUI that you would download on a lab computer.